What's up, connoisseurs? It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community. Today is Sunday, July 21st. Hope you're having a great weekend. And it's the last day for the rescheduling comment period. But we'll do another video. I'm going to do another video on that and what to expect after the comment period. But in this video, we're going to be discussing Biden stepping down. One of the articles that I read was shocking, breaking news, shocking that Biden is stepping down. It's like, how does anybody get shocked by this? This was pretty much the most likely scenario, in my opinion. And he did endorse Kamala Harris. So we'll be discussing that, whether or not she's going to replace him, and is it good for MJ? I'll give my thoughts and opinions on this, and then we'll also see what Grok has to say. Before we get to it, though, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff. You'll be notified on any future content that I post or whenever I do a live stream. Also, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only, and you should never, ever buy anything or sell anything based on anything that I say or write. You can also follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. Here's a CNBC article. Biden drops out of 2024 presidential election, endorses Kamala Harris as Democratic nominee. So President Joe Biden will step out from the race against Donald Trump. And we know RFK Jr. is also a presidential candidate who's pro-MJ, pro-crypto. That's actually the thumbnail here. So if you haven't seen that video, you can check that out. But he's very pro-MJ as well and wants to legalize it. And, we have the comment period ending tomorrow, so we could see some big fireworks here. He did endorse Kamala Harris as the Dem Party nominee, and he's 81 years old, right? He had tons of pressure to step down, and it started with the poor debate that he had against Trump, right? And it was very evident that, his age is definitely catching up to him, right? At 81 years old, he did say in a statement as well that he's just going to focus on being the president for the remainder of his term and focusing on his duties at hand. But I mean, he's 81 years old. Anybody, even his family should be telling him, now's the time to enjoy retirement. You don't have a lot of years left, right? We all hope to live to be, 100 plus. But, the fact of the matter is when you're 81, your time could come at any time, right? So I think it's a wise move to let Kamala Harris step in potentially as the Dem Party nominee. We'll see what happens, but as of right now, she was endorsed by Biden, so it's certainly looking like she's the favorite at the moment. And I do think it's good for MJ because Kamala Harris has been very vocal about MJ as well. She's very pro MJ legalization, so I think it's going to be a good look, and we'll see if she can become the first female president of the United States. I do think that it's going to be a hard battle against Trump. I'm not from the U.S. I'm from Canada, so I try not to get political. I just want what's best for MJ. But if I had to pick one, if I was able to vote and I was American and I had to pick one, it would most definitely be RFK Jr. That guy just got his head screwed on straight, and he just seems to spew common sense, where common sense these days is not so common. So I did ask Grok, given the current information, here's how the MJ industry might be affected now that Joe Biden has stepped down for the presidential race. And this is in the Pow Group private community that I posted. And a lot of these things I've echoed on the channel before, and I very much agree with them. So increased focus on MJ reform. With Biden stepping down, there may be a renewed focus on MJ reform as part of his legacy. So that's 110% accurate in my opinion. He'll want to go down, with something, because that's essentially why they were put in office. And why the Dems took control of the Senate was because of MJ, right? Look at the run-up in 2021 when the Dems took control of the Senate, right? That was just on hopes of legalization. So if they don't get something done, that's going to look really bad for the party, right? So I think rescheduling is going to happen sometime around September, October. I'm going to be doing another video on that, what to expect after the comment period ends today into tomorrow. So look out for that video. You can have the subscribe, have the notification bell on. You'll be notified. I'm going to get it out in the next hour or so, I would say. So this could lead to rescheduling of MJ becoming effective before the election, which would have significant implications for the industry. So you have to think, if Kamala Harris is coming in, it's already looking bad on the Dems party right now, right? Because they endorsed Biden, they let him run, and Biden wanted to run. Now they're dropping out. They kind of look weak, right? And they're in a scramble. So it's not a good look. And to be honest, Kamala Harris is going to have a hard time beating Trump, in my opinion. And then if they use MJ, right, they promised MJ reform. They haven't really done anything yet. So they're going to be, trying to get that done ASAP. But then also they're going to use it as a weapon, right, to gain more votes, right? It's going to be used as a potential to sway young voters and things like that, right? To combat, the pro-crypto stance that Trump has, right? So we'll see whether or not the Dems do a 180 on crypto and whether or not the Republican Party and Trump and Vance start to endorse MJ a little bit more. So potential boost for MJ stocks. If Kamala Harris becomes the nominee, it could potentially boost MJ stocks in the short term. Harris has been a vocal advocate for MJ legalization and has championed rescheduling MJ to Schedule 3. So again, wholeheartedly agree with that. The election issue. MJ reform could become an even more prominent issue in the upcoming election. If Harris is the nominee, she is likely to make MJ legalization a key part of her campaign, potentially forcing Donald Trump to take a stand on the issue as well, right? So again, in my opinion, if she doesn't use MJ as a way to sway voters and make it a big part of her campaign, and if they don't do a 180 on crypto as well, they may as well just hand it over to, they might as well just drop out completely, because in my opinion, it's just a political death sentence, especially when you said that you were going to get something done on the legalization or reform front, and they haven't done anything, right? It's just been empty promises. So rescheduling, I think, is going to be the most likely scenario before the elections. I do think that that's going to happen, and I do think that Florida is going to pass adult use legalization come November as well. So uncertain long-term impact, though. While the short-term impact could be positive for the MJ industry, the long-term impact is less certain. If Harris loses the election, the future of MJ reform could be less clear. Trump has expressed support for medical MJ legalization, but has not been vocal about broader legalization. We know that he's very pro-state law, so kind of leaving it up to the states, and that's what J.D. Vance said as well. Ohio, he's from Ohio, a senator, and he's 39, so he's very progressive as well. So all in all, I think we're on the right path here. And then to sum it up, it said on Grok, overall, Biden stepping down could lead to some short-term benefits for the MD industry, and the long-term impact will depend on the outcome of the election and the policies of the new administration. So pretty much what I would have said as well, and like I've said this multiple times on the channel, that if they don't do something before the election, if rescheduling at the very least doesn't happen, it's their political death sentence. And now that, Kamala Harris could potentially become the nominee, well, that bodes well for MJ stocks as well, because she's already going to be behind. They're already behind, right? So she's going to be even more behind because this looks even more weak on their front. So then I think she's really going to start, putting the fire behind MJ legalization. And we know that, a lot of these initiatives are really coming from her, and she used to be a prosecutor. So I think this is overall good. Let me know what your thoughts and opinions are in the comment section below. We'll continue the conversation there. We'll see what happens here this week as well. The S&P 500 was showing a little bit of weakness, so we could see some turbulence from the broader market, but we do have the comment period ending tomorrow, and I think it's going to be overwhelmingly positive as it has been already. And I think it's going to happen sooner than later. They're going to want to expedite this as quickly as possible. So like I said, I'm going to be doing a video here in a few moments, so keep an eye out for that. In the next hour or two, I should have it uploaded, and going to be discussing what to expect after the comment period is over. All right, enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's Rod with Power Group. Thanks again for joining us in the pursuit of wealth, and we'll see you on the next one.